Hey guys, what's going on? Musical Maestro here. I just got back from the cinema after seeing La La Land, and let me tell you, wowee, what a... Oh, this isn't about La La Land. This is my gameplay channel. Hey guys, what's going on? Alfonso here. I just got back from playing some Dish Jam, and after suffering through Lob Lob Land, let me tell you, wowee, what a doozy. So let's talk about what the discussion is and catch everyone up. This past week, McKenna's been pulling out a pretty dirty strategy. If you're forced to slide or muck up your timing, rather than throwing a blue, you just throw a lob to the back corner. That's about it. You're probably thinking, man, that doesn't sound too bad, and it's not. It's arguably worse. She can do this not once, not twice, but as many times as she wants. So why and how has this come about? With the recent buff to lobs this week, the shadowy Lobkenna that had started to form with the previous patches has finally reared its ugly head and come out into the light. For those of you unsure of what the changes patches are I'm talking about here, I'll quickly fill you in. The release of Gator as an all-rounder allowed McKenna and Stanton to be shifted to their more respected extreme roles. Respective. For McKenna, this led to faster falling lobs. On paper, this gave her a backfoot mechanic, which I discussed last week and made it nigh impossible to charge a super off. Originally, I thought this was good. Again, echoing my thoughts of last week's discussion, it gave McKenna a way to play on the back foot in a similar style to Stanton in his slide. If you were forced to slide, it was okay, the game wasn't over for you. Unfortunately, it gave McKenna almost too good of a way to play on the back foot. There should always exist this kind of mechanic or a way to claw your way back into the game, yet it should never get to the point where that mechanic feels like an advantage. Dish Jam is a war for positioning. The player throwing from farther up the court has the advantage over the player throwing from the back. Disc placement is key in this regard. Where and how you throw nets you that advantage. In comparison, Stanton has a more powerful throw, so when he slides his blue is still alright and you can position it well. However, you can still run up to the throw and abuse the fact that he had to throw from that far back. McKenna gets a free lob to the backline that you can't really play around. And that's one of the problems with McKenna's lob currently. There's no counterplay. If any other character tried this, you'd have the chance to charge a super and punish them with it. Unless McKenna throws directly on top of you, you're not going to get that super. Which means your only other option is to throw a perfect from the backline. You're forced into only having one option, rather than the flexibility that would otherwise be presented with a normal throw. The mechanic in its current state also messes hugely with the general flow of the game, which is something that we've encountered before. In an ideal world, the game would play beautifully, with perfects being passed back and forth, both players hitting juice until one shot sneaks by and the point ends. Sliding, lobs, and deflects all serve as a way to alter the flow, which isn't a bad thing. However, we have hit the extreme when it comes to messing with the flow, in a similar way to what happened with the shield forward playstyle, which was a playstyle back in the day where it was just better to deflect before you even threw the disc. So every rally would be deflect, throw, rather than throw, etc, etc. The other main problem I really have with the current lob system in its current state is it's very anti-fun. It completely takes you out of the game. It doesn't let you play as you want to play. Again, if someone throws a disc, I have 2, 3, 4 options. I can run forward, I can slide forward into it, I can charge my shield, I can position in preparation. If someone lobs, I'm kind of just forced to stand next to the thing, walk into it, and throw all the way from the back in the worst position I could throw from. So it's a really anti-fun mechanic. So again, to summarize, this version of the lob and its current playstyle has zero counterplay, completely messes with the flow of the game, and is the safest option every time, and is pretty much completely anti-fun. Now that I've drawn you all in with one-sided arguments and we've got the pitchforks ready, I'd like to look at the other side of the argument, because I'm not fully sold on the strength of the lob spam at all. First of all, this tactic isn't guaranteed, it doesn't work 100% of the time. It's not a free swing of momentum, nor is it a game winner. At high level, it's essentially giving your opponent 3 perfect charges or juice, as they don't have to slide for it or position properly. And throwing from the back corner, you can still get some nice fills or mix-ups to score. So while it may be the safest option, it can quickly become the riskiest, allowing your opponent to get up to juice while you haven't even gotten started on your own perfect chain. I also do like the idea of using lobs to punish positioning and get people into this very specific area you want. Unfortunately, that's really the only positive thing I can fully say about it. In its current state, there's really no reason to actually throw a blue after sliding in the early stages of the game. It's a very two-dimensional choice. However, it does again show the potential for different strategies and options. You aren't forced to throw a crippling throw because you had slide. However, your opponent doesn't get that option due to the nature of the current system of lobs. So while it is all well and good talking about what the problem benefits are, it's even better to talk about what the solutions are. Whether those solutions be diminishing returns on consecutive lobs, an opposite system to the juiced, where you get a chain of lobs, so after 3 lobs you're fatigued, or something. Think rolling 3 doubles in Monopoly, and then you go to jail. We've had conversations about storing what charge you get from the super, or I believe recently Dubin and Tim had a discussion about converting the charge you do get into a more powerful shot, or something to do with moving. So I'd love to get your guys' feedback and ideas on this, whether you agree with me and think it needs looking at, or believe it is okay in its current state. Obviously, we could all be wrong about this. When the stuffing mechanic first came out, stuffing was broken as hell, and we all kept getting scored on by it. When short lobs came out, it was the same situation. Obviously, it does take a while to adapt and get used to it, but should we have to adapt to this strategy, or should it be changed? I've been wrong about plenty of mechanics before, and the series is called Discussion for a reason, so let's have a discussion about it. Please either leave a comment on the video, post on Reddit, or drop it in the suggestions on Discord. Your voices make and shape this game, so don't forget that. So yeah, I think that just about sums up this week's Disc Discussions video. It was pretty much the only thing to talk about. Tournaments-wise, I gotta sneeze. No, I think I'm alright. Wait. Tournament-wise, it's been really awesome this week. There's been a lot of newer players who have been really showing up and doing super well. Players like Untubular, Lash. Really should have looked at the list before I did this. Those are the names I can remember. But these guys have been absolutely whooping ass, taking names, been really awesome to see. Really excited to see the top 3 change. Sometimes I'm just going to assume I'm going to be dropping out of it anytime soon. I haven't been doing too hot in tournaments right now. Clearly because I'm too worried about lob spam to actually play the game at a high level. But that's really awesome to see. Really hope you guys keep that up. Sure, again, as I said last week, there'll be plenty of tournaments next week to prove yourself. Keep an eye out on the tournaments tab. I believe someone's trying to create a monthly league where at the end of the month, the points you earned in the month do something. I know Compton's trying to get together a Thursday scrim, King of the Hill style, where you can play good players and get feedback. So definitely keep an eye out for that. There's definitely a lot of ways to improve. Other than that, you guys are doing great. Love you all. Peace. I ran out of steam again. Bye. Wait. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and favorite.